So we're camping, and of course it didn't start raining until 8 a.m. So in essence, we didn't actually have to go camping, but it is what it is. Friends of ours gifted us $50, so this is what we chose to spend it on, 2 nights camping. So $50.50. Plus the bus that she didn't charge us for, thank God. So we'll see what happens on the way back. And then it would cost us just what they donated plus 50 cents because we walked to the campground. We didn't do a lift. So he just had to have a telehealth on the phone because, first of all, we both forgot about it. We slept late, we forgot about it. It's pouring rain. The hotspot won't work on my laptop. So I carried a laptop all the way here, and I didn't want to bring my Chromebook because of the rain, so I brought a different laptop that's heavy. So I carried that all that way for absolutely no reason. Because without the internet, what am I going to do with the laptop? Play solitaire? Do that on my phone. So that was sort of a longer walk because I was carrying so much weight. And then it was so bad, and I was like wicked thirsty too. It was so bad that all I could think was, how am I going to carry this back? Like the whole 2 days was already nelligated at that point. So you know that you're tired. And then as soon as then when we got here and set up, there was some issues with the ground is extremely hard. Whatever it is they're doing with the campsites to accommodate drivers and trailers, it's destroying primitive camping. And like I said, they close the non-electric sites during the week as soon as you get past the 2-week rule. So you have to pay more for an electric site. So they obviously assume you're in a trailer or in a car. And who needs to put stakes in the ground or worry about flooding? So it's completely destroying primitive camping. But it is what it is. It's a self-terminating species that cannot stop doing it. It cannot stop doing completely insane things that are leading to their absolute extinction. So that's the good news. It's just a difficult time to be living through, waiting for them to extinct. So the woman called my phone because he didn't answer his phone. I don't know why he didn't answer it, but then I handed it to him. You can't be missing appointments like that. And then squawk about you don't have your medication. That's your provider. So just the same bunch of nonsense about housing and referrals to nonsense. Like I said, Dedham Housing, if you're out there, I'm not responding to your request for documents any longer. So you can make up your excuse to remove me from your list since you're never giving me housing. And you're DMs, but you're going to make up some way that you're not. It's been over a year with you, and I'm done with it. No other housing authority is doing that. You were supposed to decide if I was going to get priority based on a no-fault eviction, and you refused to do it. So we're all being nuked, okay? And it's not my fucking problem. I don't care about your medical conditions. I don't care about your children. I don't care about all the horseshit that you invent. It's called treason and crimes against humanity. So, just not going to go over it every single day. I've talked to other people. You're not supposed to be asking me for documents until you have an apartment to offer me, and you've been doing it every 3 months for over a year. So you're clearly just dragging out time until I just go, fuck you, and don't do it, and then you take me off and go, I didn't respond to something, when everybody on earth knows what you're doing. Everybody on earth knows what you're doing. You have profound morbid mental insanity. Just like I'm not a victim of domestic violence because it's been 14, 15 years. Okay? It's some horrifying insanity that you have that if enough time goes by, it doesn't matter what you did, when it does matter. Hence 82 degrees and then nighttime lows in the 30s. It does matter. And I'm done talking about it. And I told you that 2 years ago. I was done talking about housing. You do not birth my species. Your DNA does not contain any of my species. Your species is in a total and complete extinction. It's the Passover, where you will presumably, I don't know, you need to ask God, transition into some other form of life that's not this bodily form, like dinosaurs. And it's very terrible that you have to go out in this fashion. Just the most wretched of people. So anyways, there's still nothing on the shelter's website about us applying to get into the shelter. And today is a week till it's supposed to open. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I said to Brian I would email again today if I don't hear anything, if I don't see anything on the website. I even downloaded their app. Everybody's obsessed with apps. Everybody has to have 1,000 apps on your telephone. None of that can be good. Okay, just certain things that other species do, and then they all start doing it, and they don't have any comprehension of what they're doing, like algorithms. Why everything on Earth, it happened last night, okay? So with the greatest of all due respects, Albertsons Corporation, you can go fuck yourself. Again, it's been about 4 years with this bullshit about Star Marketers and Shaw's. Seriously to God, we can't get Haagen-Dazs ice cream because we can't scan a code on the Shaw's app. Not the Star Market app, the Shaw's app. I will just buy your fucking ice cream. Okay? Really. I think you know what you're doing. Because you're advertising shit you're never giving anyone because everybody goes, this is too much work. No, I'm not even buying fucking Haagen-Dazs ice cream. It was 2 cents more for their signature brand. After trying to do exactly what they told me to do. I don't believe it is an accident anymore. I think that they're completely deranged criminals. Because it's going on all over the place where your head is full of the trickster. You all have dementia, and you have a psychopathic psyche, and you're up at the fig tree, and your brain is trying to conjure up a way that you're going to tell somebody something is money, and then you're going to not give it to them for that price, or you're going to make them pay more by trickery because you're mentally ill. It's just something that happens to your brains. I explain it with Barbara Kent, and everybody, it's going to manifest in a slightly different way, but yet the same. Where she's going to give you $20, but then ask you to spend $30 on your Snap card for things for her. Like, you can't get any enjoyment. You don't run a business or anything out of enjoyment. Everything is a criminal act. Everything is tricking people. Because your head is full of the trickster, you have dementia. So he's got another appointment next month. Right, just Dedham Housing Authority, just to reiterate, in 2016 when I applied for housing, did not respond at all to my application. And then I applied again in 2017, and they did not reply to my application when every other city and town I did. Okay. And I was told I was going to have an apartment in 2 years and born. I know, I'm unzippering, babe. I hear you. It takes a second. I had to put my appointment book away and then do this. I guess we didn't have to bring the... Oh, you heated it up. All right. I was going to say, I guess you didn't have to bring the cord if we were going to heat it up in here. If it won't close, just leave it on the ground in front of the tent, babe. It's not that big of a deal. We'll worry about it later. Oh, you moved the pole?
Yeah.
Can you just put it back on the thing? It's not that big of a deal, babe. Thank you. It was only there by a thread anyway because it had moved from the rain. It either moved from the rain or when I got up to pee this morning. All right. All right, so we're in the little tiny tent because the zipper broke on the other one when we were at Massasoit. But my sciatica is acting up, so not the best day to be stuck in a tiny tent. It'll be fine once it stops raining. This heavy stuff's supposed to stop about 10:30, and then it's supposed to completely stop raining by like 1 o'clock. Then it's gonna be worse. Now they're back to saying that it's gonna rain all next week. By the way, they keep changing it back and forth. It's gonna be sunny all week, to it's gonna rain every day of the week. I checked the shelter website. They still don't have the applications on there, so I'm gonna email her. I'm done with this live stream, I guess. Did it look flooded out there, by the way? Yeah. Oh. Curious. Oh. Bug clear. Oh shit, yep, there's water over here. Right where the computer is. It's like I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. I'm gonna have to move the computer up on my head. That's what I was saying. I've carried this heavy fucking computer I can't even use, and then it will end up getting destroyed by the rain. Don't I have a million spoons from yesterday? It's starting to get kind of moist in here just from the general humidity and us breathing in it too. At first I was thinking this will be good because I can take the plastic off and let everything dry, but it's going to be cold tonight. I suppose I could take it off and then just shake it out or something, so it's at least not as wet. I'll have to hang the plastic up in the storage when I get back. Do you want 2 sugars, even though that's sweetened, babe? Okay. I'm supposed to have a telehealth appointment at 1. I'm sure this is what's happened to people over the course of time, right? You just they can't keep up with it. They don't have computers and telephones and internet. And where are they going to sleep that night and shit? And then they just get dropped off of the thing. And then people keep acting like those people are like drug addicts and mentally ill. You go, you're mentally ill. You're mentally ill. You're mentally ill. You've got to give the Social Security. That's what you fucking people were told. These people will not give us fucking housing because they have ghettos they built. And they want to be paid for putting their fucking hostages in them. And putting them in their fucking shelter hostages. And all these programs that we have to fucking go to that are nothing but bullshit. And case managers don't make a fucking $100,000 a year for doing fucking nothing. Just anybody. I don't want to hear another fucking word about, oh, well, you know, maybe housing will come in. No, it's not. We're fucking hostages. It's not ever fucking coming. Thank God for thermonuclear weapons, man. Fucking Christ. So I saw a news report that your president said that he wants your cities fucking dead and gone. How do you guys feel about that? Is he evil? Is he a madman? Still not nuking your fucking asses? Is it funny political rhetoric? Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're waiting for the public's response to that. Just a band of fucking deranged, murderous criminals talking about how someone's a madman because he's gonna fucking kill you all. You might want to sit up to drink now, babe. Thank you for getting the water. Wow, it's wicked sweet, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Tastes like it has 15 sugars in it. They didn't have any regular coffee, you know, so we had to get the 0 sugar French vanilla. It's a little bit too much sweet. Yeah, it's way too sweet. I don't know. I've had vanilla in my house, and it doesn't have any sweetness to it. So there's not a need to make it that sugary. Coffee meat. Well, at least we got a good workout, that's for sure. I told Brian, this is the result of us not taking our daily walk to Florida that we kept saying we were going to do. With the shit that God does. Because our bodies will just agree and we'll fucking die. So yeah, God would like concoct the whole thing to force us to walk like that. Not people are supposed to do it. That's when the true horror begins, when people think they're fucking God. You tell them and you joke and go, oh, that's good. God did it because we're complaining about our arms. And then all of a sudden you have deranged fucking animals forcing you to lift 50 pounds. Like they are God. It's right in the Bible. Anything a person says that they think God did and then you try to fucking do it, gone. That's the man of perdition. That's your fucking gone in the head. It's right in the Holy Bible. Sits in the temple in your head as if you're God and thinks you're God. That's severe mental insanity. I don't know, maybe you're hearing I'm gone, or you think it's I'm God. I'm gone. Yeah, you're gone. Not you're God, you're gone. Everything would be fine without my fucking sciatica killing me. Once it stops raining, I gotta stand up for a while. I'm gonna sit at the picnic table. I laid down as long as I could. I myself didn't even get up till about 8 because it started raining at 8. I got up earlier to pee, and then I got up at like 8. Do you want any more of this water, babe? It's just about gone. It was like 4 drops in it. It still kind of worked out like it did when we went camping before we had this thing, babe. Because I'm up, and it was not raining. I would have had time to boil water, like make a fire and boil water. Those were the good times. I still like camping, but that's the best, man. Even a percolator, but just because that would be real coffee and not instant coffee. But excuse me, gotta have a fire. Got a fire going last night. Even though before we went out, because I didn't have time to gather any wood, I was using a flashlight trying to find shit. I found enough pieces just to have a small fire for a short amount of time. Maybe tonight, even though everything's soaked, I sometimes still can get a fire going. It's always these corners there too. I also made the tent a little bit better because I used one of the small pole from the other tent. Thank God I saved them to reinforce it, so it's at least up a little bit more than it would have been because more water would probably come in. That's what was good about using it as a supply tent for a while. I could see where the breaches were and why. Anytime it's not up at the points there, water pools and comes in. Whatever's going on in this corner, I don't know if like the plastic isn't actually covering right there or something, or water's flowing real bad over there. Yeah, we're probably gonna want that plastic on there tonight. Who knows? It's got like 4 or 5 hours to dry. Maybe it'll actually dry. That's about all. Hold on. What time is it, babe? Okay.
No, it's 11.
Oh, okay. So the heavy stuff should be that band that came through. Right about the time he had to talk to his, I don't even know. It's supposed to be a psychologist. I have no idea. I'm thinking it's probably not. It's probably someone who can just write prescriptions. I know, I noticed it when I had talked to her. She's not from the United States, and she's very difficult to understand when she's talking. You know? And then the rain's pouring, and you're on a phone that my phone sucks for audio. You're better off using the Bluetooth, talking on it. His mood is fine. His mood is better, but he's tired all the time. Hopefully that answers your fucking question. Probably like any man on this land piece. I'm sure. Exodus 20:13. So anyway, my hearing is less than 4 weeks away now. It was 4 weeks yesterday. So that's an hour on a telehealth. So hey, I might as well do it at the fucking library. Nothing's private. And then they'll be like, why are you at a library? Why am I at a library? So my internet doesn't fucking give out. That's why. Homeless? I need my social security, so I'm not homeless anymore. Because that's what you got to do. Even after you were shown, that's not what you got to do. When you gave every other fucking person in the country COVID money but me. They didn't have to apply for it. They didn't have to have a fucking interview. They didn't have to submit fucking documents. Give me a break. We can't just, yeah, you did. You just did it. End of discussion. I'm sure that the government has already acquired like hundreds of cases, as you call them, where you just gave people housing. You gave them emergency housing. But yet here I am still fucking sitting in a tent. Bunch of bullshit I have to fucking listen to. Probably time, yeah. I saw the one thing on YouTube. I didn't listen to it yet. My headphones were charging and Brian was still sleeping. Their shopping should dissipate because it's going to be, now it's going to be regular cold. And that makes sense. That's not concerning. Only the heat is. About your president said he wants to get rid of your cities and kill you all. I mean, see if he's a madman or not. See if the judge can block order that. Judge builds boron shield for entire 48 states. tells Trump, yes, we can. Well, there comes the problem because Benjamin Netanyahu's not your president. No judge can block his order. Yeah. Different country. Oh, sure. Morning. Look like an earthy, crunchy tree hugger. Brian broke his glasses, so now we got to order glasses. He must have slept on them. It's the tent's fault. Oh. You don't have to do it that fast. I can wait. There we go. Thanks. Ugh. This thing's holding up pretty good, huh? My little Cherokee piecemeal shit. I had one of my poles from the other tent, and because it's an electric site, there's a pole right there. So I just laid it on it and pushed this up in the tent with a piece of plastic. Hey, really don't care. Oh, look at these people. They look like they just came out of a trash dump. Typical karaoke. Is it dripping in?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Ugh. Sciatica shit. I'm either going to be like laying down or standing up because the muscle is all. Most things will dry. I just didn't want your sleeping bag to get wet at the end, but they dry pretty fast anyways. Every morning our sleeping bags are wet and our blankets are wet and we have to hang them up in our storage during the day because of body heat. Well, we'll see, because obviously there's limitations to what my sister can do. I mean, but they're saying it's going to rain all next week. Oh, yeah, I got to remember when I shut that thing off to email the shelter. It doesn't mean we're getting in there. You go, what's the chances a married couple's going to get in there when there's, yeah, just, to some people it doesn't matter, and there's a lot of people with health problems, especially at this point, but we both have medical conditions. It doesn't matter. That's why you have all those disabled people sitting up in chairs all night till they literally faint. I don't know, man. I think it's about time for your leader to tell you that he does want you dead. I mean, what the fuck? Legends of the Seas. I'm telling you. I think they're doing it on purpose. Let's see how many of these fucking people with these children, because it's a family vacation, can drop 10 grand for a fucking cruise. But there's nothing they can do about people being fucking homeless on the ground. Whatever. What? Why would we pay for? I don't know. Why the fuck did we walk away from houses and shit? And then you go to Savers and fucking Salvation Army and buy our goods that we just gave away. But we're the not. Whatever. Caffeine and nicotine. Take another blood draw. Just a look on the chick's face at the shelter when I went to Bournewood and they were giving copies of all the shit. Right? You just go, all right, clearly this person doesn't drink or do drugs. Make up another thing. Explain how polycystic liver disease and polycystic kidney disease is from anything but fucking vaccines. And not something I did. I didn't vaccinate myself. That's why that dude's flipping out, but there's nothing he can do. Human beings aren't vaccinating unless they're like forcibly fucking vaccinated. If you start taking people's children away from them so you can inject them with fucking diseases, yeah, now you have a problem. That's why they want those mandates taken away. At first, it seemed like a good idea, didn't it? You're gonna vaccinate the fucking herd when you people don't have immunity? Yeah, vaccinate the herd. Do it. Annihilate whole species on Earth. Because no human being would fathom to do that. That's how I know. All due respect to the elite class that wasn't vaccinating their own children, but telling everybody to vaccinate ours. No human being would do that. We're all dumb heads like me. Hey guys, guess what? All we have to do is stop doing this. And then we don't have to worry. And then you all came down on me like a fucking hammer. Right before my eyes about how horrifying an idea that was. For everybody to be free and fucking happy. And worry free. Nope. Okay, well, there you go. It's been 2,000 years at least, and they're not going to get any more chances. It's never going to be any different. Even now, we got a system. We can refer you, and we'll have the case manager contact you, and we need your documents again. And what the fuck? Okay. So we X here, we sign here. Okay, and then you leave us the fuck alone for a year as you run around trying to make up a reality for yourselves. It makes sense. We just saw a friend of ours yesterday, and she typically walks. That's a distance right there. I don't know. She's got to be at least 60. And she was saying with this last time that she did it, as she's sitting there with the sweater on and it's 82 degrees, that it took her a wicked long time and she didn't think she was going to make it. And she goes, I think I'm dying. Like, what the hell's going on? It's like, we're being irradiated. We're all fucking tired. Like, you're not getting it. Those people are driving around in cars and shit and probably popping pills and drinking energy drinks and shit. They're tired too, and they don't even fucking do anything. They get like a nervous energy, like a mania, that might seem like they're not tired. Like people on meth and shit. Not there, not feeling it. Well, here's an example. Not to sound mean and morbid, but again, I was in a house for 2 years during all those weird weather events from 2022 to 2024. Myself, the elderly woman, and the dog were all getting our joints locked up. The dog could not go up and down the stairs, and then it would recover and be fine. And the man that seemed to never say anything about his joints hurting, even when I mentioned my knee, he acted like that was something odd and wondered if it had something to do with my medical condition. He was not getting any um, symptoms from the radiation at all. He dropped dead. He dropped dead in the bathroom floor. Okay, so just eventually your body, maybe they don't have an immune system at all to react to it. And then eventually they just bloop. I've noticed that I don't get the same effects I did before. So it is true what I looked up. After a while, your body gets so worn down, it's not reacting to it anymore. That's probably when you start getting the cough and shit, because I never was getting coughs before till about a year ago last summer. I think it started at the shelter with that hacking cough that wouldn't go away till I could leave the shelter and get proper rest. A lot of it has to do with we're not allowed to sleep. So I think rest has something to do, because it makes sense. Your body's trying to recover. Rest, fluids, and then it eventually goes away. But when we get that cough like that and we're forced into that regime, it goes on and on and on. So if these people aren't coughing anymore, then they've probably gone on to the next thing. And I have another example of a person in 2022 complaining about the achy joints and things. And then this year, she clearly already had bowel cancer, but she finally got a diagnosis of it. And she had to get almost a complete blockage to get that diagnosis and have surgery. So. Well, from what I can gather, you just get more and more tired and you sleep more and more, almost like kidney failure. It's not really that frightening. When you don't feel sick and you're just sleeping and sleeping a lot, is that really, yeah, that's not really a bad way to go. I think you think at first lung cancer, like you're all gonna not be able to breathe. It doesn't really seem to go like that, judging by Jenny Apples. I think at the end she was starting to have issues with breathing. And then I think they gave her something, and then pretty quickly after that she passed. She was having treatments too, so who knows if that would have even happened if she had not had the treatments. I don't know, but I was guessing that she was doing it so she could keep getting Social Security, because they would probably threaten to shut her off because now she's their experiment. Hi, babe. Brian's like, oh no, I'm tired because you're on 15 pills, so you don't flip out. I can only imagine the amount of people in prison, especially males, just. It seems to have lulled. I want to just let some air in here. If it's 11, that means we only have 2 more hours of this shit. Good. In the other tent, we probably wouldn't even have cared. but there's got to be some reason why that tent wasn't going to work for us for this trip. I was thinking about how hard the ground is. Even finding a spot for this tiny tent, it might have been something where the size of it wouldn't have worked. I hate to have to part with this tent, but it's starting to get some wear and tear. Partly probably from being stored when it's wet so many times. If I could find another one of these, but it's a little bit small for two people with all that gear. I'd like to go back to what we were doing before for next summer. Something like this and the bigger tent. This is the storage tent. After our trip, we'll probably think about it, even though right now is probably a good time to buy it because it's the end of the season. There's probably shit on sale, but we have a. Yeah, I guess we could have taken the $50 and bought another tent and kept it for next year, but that'll probably be the first thing we purchase. Two new tents for next year, because if we're still around here next year, we're just gonna camp all summer. Hopefully we'll get Social Security so that we can just camp somewhere else that's not this state. At least by next winter. Could probably go. It's someplace that doesn't have this insane 2-week limit too. See if there's more cruise news. Well, I know one of them has a medical condition. That was sort of. I don't know if he was talking about it before, but that was revealed the other day. Some of these people are gonna just keep traveling around because they're gonna die and they know it and they deserve it. So they're gonna just keep doing that. Nobody should expect that and not do things because they're gonna die. Like I didn't know I had a medical condition in 2011. Oh, someone's on the thing. Oh, hello. Hey, Rodriguez. Oh, if only that person was like on some sort of. I'm sure there's a Rodriguez in your Senate or something, right? Well, right now I'm at a campground, obviously, but I'm leaving tomorrow, so I can't really tell you what's going on with the population. But they seemed calm, and it's the typical thing in Quincy, which is not new. It's not related to what just happened. That's a very sick population with brain disease, and they're always going to go food shopping. It's not as bad as it was in 2022. I don't think I've ever seen it that bad again. None of the managers and shit have had conversations in the seating area in front of us on purpose to tell us if they're having trouble keeping up with the stock because the people are shopping so much. So I would assume that's not going on anymore. Except for the issue with the mayonnaise. Yep. What I would do is I would just, those big barrels like on Cracker Barrel, and I would just fill it with mayonnaise packets and just put it there. I can't care if there's sick people for whatever reason they've got a house full of mayonnaise packets. Okay, I did not do that when I was in a room in High Park. No, I just bought mayonnaise or got it at a food pantry because I could refrigerate it and I didn't have to carry it around. I can't leave food in my storage. And I'm buying products from your store that require mayonnaise. Sometimes when we're going camping, we'll take a couple of extra ones. None of it's been excessive because, again, we have to carry it. And we don't have that problem either. Just anybody. $8 for a sandwich and I can't put mayonnaise on it? Just loose chicken and I can't put mayonnaise on it? Yeah, it gets annoying. And it's really only that store sometimes, or I don't know if it's the store or the population, where you go into a store and you just go, and clearly no one wants mustard because there's always mustard. No one wants that French mustard. They want Gouldens mustard. And they know I ketchup is usually there too, but remember when George Bush and Barbara Bush were on the Tonight Show? I think it was the Tonight Show. And they had a huge thing of mayonnaise that they bought at like Sam's Club or something. I remember that. I don't know. Maybe there was an issue with mayonnaise back then too. I don't know, but we have to have our mayonnaise. Yeah, it sounds like it's letting up now, but according to the radar, 1 o'clock, and then I can take a shower and stuff. I'll probably have some more coffee too. So, if I recall, it doesn't cost that much to reorder the glasses. It's just a hassle because he's blind like I am. So now we got two blind people again. I'll have to start wearing mine that I keep forgetting to take out of my purse because I very rarely wear them. And I'm just like, I've got to leave these in storage because they're eventually going to get broken. I'm on my phone so much that's when I first got them, I was wearing them and I noticed I have to take them off to use my phone because they're not reading glasses. It's for astigmatism. 14 years, and then the insurance company still refused to pay for it. I don't know if they're doing it or the government is giving them things that are going on that's not going on. Why they keep doing this insanity with they won't give me a dental cleaning, they won't give me eyeglasses, and then they think they're in a war for issues they already solved 10 years ago. So we walked about 4 miles to get here, and then we had to walk, is it 4 miles, babe, to the Shaws? And then back again. So that's about 12 miles total that we walked yesterday. And then tomorrow we'll have to walk 4 miles to the bus. And all the while, our friend probably last night woke up this morning going, it didn't even rain. They didn't even have to do that. And then next week, well, the campground is not open next week anyway. Uh, I believe it's Sunday night is the last night. It's either Saturday night or Sunday night. So all these people that are here now have to leave. So they're probably feeling a little bit sort of depressed, I'm sure. I don't know how long they've been here. But I don't know. Maybe they're all going to Arizona or something. where you can year round camp, especially when you have those trailer things, those RVs and stuff. They won't let us set up tents. Like even something like this, we could set up at night if it's gonna rain and just take it down in the morning. It's a teeny tiny tent with two poles. What's the problem with that? Someone has a problem with it. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me, but Champ sent me another email today and I'm not responding to it. I hope you don't mind. Because I hope you can see that it's nothing but horseshit. Right. And it's only Dedham Housing doing it. No other housing authority has asked for those documents, so you know that they're fucked. Just, I put up with it for over a year. Like, we're still on Champ, but it's just, they're not, because the woman from Casper told me, they're not really supposed to be doing that unless they have an apartment available. And then they ask for all that shit. It's like, I feel like it's somebody else that's demanding that they respond to the priority. And now it's 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. It's been 4 years. They're going to go, it's been 4 years. Like that fucking matters. It's a no fault eviction. Okay, so you just, all of it, all of it should sort of make sense, like the Nuremberg trials. All of it should make sense because the court is keeping track of it, and that ends next Thursday, by the way. The court's keeping track of it. I was assigned a social worker for a year again. That's the second one. Like, say that Dedham Housing made up something about why they didn't respond to me in 2016 and 2017. That can't really make sense anymore, right? Because it's the same Dedham court that halted the eviction when Tom Kent asked them to in 2021 or 2020, whatever that was going on when he did the phone thing. And the court said they had to stop evicting us. And Joe Biden made a federal law that you couldn't evict people if they were going to end up in a shelter or on the street. And these people wouldn't stop. They started entering the house. Then they said they were going to put Barbara Kent in a nursing home. So that's when we all left, when they started that horseshit. And the police said, like, what are you going to do? Because this person is entering into the house. So that's why we all left at that time. And Tom Kent had to go to court. And as you saw, they didn't have any concerns about Barbara Kent and the nursing home at that point. They just wanted us out of the house. Like ravenous fucking animals. Then he had to use her money to rent a house for 2 years until he died. And now she lives with their daughter. Not any of us were put in housing after that. None of us were given a Section 8, none of it. So that's like complete criminal behavior. I think part of the reason why the population is so zen about it is because everybody feels that there's too many people. And then they're all going to make up how they're justified for what they're doing and that they are not the people being extincted. They all feel they've had a conversation with some god in their head and that it doesn't matter what they do and they're not responsible and stuff. And so it is what it is. You don't want them to panic anyway. It's like this. It's been going on since 2008. So they're never going to do anything to actually stop it. Why would you want them to panic? They panicked in 2020. They still didn't give us housing or Social Security. So they didn't gather up their COVID money and just help the homeless. Some people probably did, but I'm not talking about those people. They probably did it through donations. Everything is through donations. Everything. It's because, again, that's what they do, that somebody else does it. They just give money to some entity and then they do it, even when they're told that entity isn't doing it. But the action of them doing that keeps them calm. They feel that they, and then God can put them back in the delusion for the rest of their time here. Which again, that's all that they could have done anyway, but it doesn't matter. That's all that was going to happen anyway in the phase out area. Here comes another bunch of rain. You can, one thing when you're camping, maybe other people notice it in the city, but you can tell when it's about to start dropping rain on you because it hits the trees first. You have maybe about a minute to get into your tent. Yeah, you can hear it just shh, and then it takes a second for it to hit the ground from the trees. One thing I've noticed with the chipmunks, so we had a discussion about that yesterday. Um, that pile of leaves is not going to be sufficient. Okay, right, that's like lazy chipmunks right there. You have to dig a hole in the ground. So things that seem fun to me, a bunch of chipmunks might have got pissed off because I like to kick leaves. It's something that people used to do when I was young, and now everyone hates leaves. They will cut down trees because they can't stand all these leaves. That's how lazy they are. That's how sick their brains are. You don't rake leaves. You blow them with a blower. You don't put them in piles after raking them and then everybody jumps in it and that's fun. You don't walk down the sidewalk kicking leaves. People don't do that shit anymore. So here, they don't do that. And you can tell what roads people drive on by if there's leaves to the side of the road or all over the road. So I was doing a bunch of leaf kicking, as I do. And a little bit later on, as we're getting closer, I see a chipmunk run over and go pop down into the leaves like they do in the ground. No. First of all, you're not off the road, and that's not going to help you because those leaves are going to collapse in a rainstorm and suffocate you. You need to be in a hole in the ground. So yeah, I kicked a bunch of houses down, probably. Probably why that one was so small. I'm not digging. There's one over at Map I noticed the other day. It has like a certain root on the fence and stuff, and then all of a sudden it will just go ploop right into the ground. So that was the preface. I saw one doing that. So when I saw the one yesterday after kicking leaves, I go, that's why this is so fun because you can't be doing that. Leaves get heavy when they're wet. It's not like leaves that have piled up on a bunch of fallen branches. Those are like your poles for your tent. Right, that's just a road full of leaves. So when it gets wet like that, it's just gonna go ploop, and then what are you gonna do? That's like a chipmunk avalanche right there. People also used to shovel snow and make a pile, and then people would jump on that too. We used to like jumping on stuff. I don't know if people remember that. You jump off a shed into a pile of leaves, or you jump off a shed into a big pile of snow. People don't do fun stuff anymore. They've got to go on Legend of the Seas and then pay $50, and then what is that thing? That's not a ropes course. It looks fun, but when you look at the price of the stuff, and then when you see how many people they're putting on these ships, you go, that's no, no. Like I drive. What have you done to? Is I drive too boring now? Is that where the poor people stay? I drive was the shit back in the 1980s. That's where people stayed. It was almost like Las Vegas or something down there. Well, for one thing, the cost of the tickets to the theme parks is so expensive you can't even do the little things. They probably got like what, like pirate shows and stuff there. Sad. I love Disney, right? But if you came to realize that everybody that stays at those resorts and goes to the parks is somehow connected to the business side of it, would you want to keep going there? I wouldn't. I don't like that. I don't want to be in an exclusive club where you've outpriced everybody from visiting a park. That feels disgusting to me. Brian went back to sleep. I've been talking for an hour, so if I remember what time it was, I should pin your message. Yeah, I'm pinning your message. There you go. See if it shows up on when I look at this later. Well, you'd have to ask yourself, how is the person commenting when it's not even a live stream? It has to process and then be a live stream, right? Unless it's live right now, but then when I stop it, it's you can't view it till it's processed. It's not about the person being bad, it's about other people being completely out of it. I went over this a couple of years ago, and then people were probably like, she's so sick. She's so. Why can I see comments that you can't see? Don't make Joe Smith come back and just. That was. Yeah, the longer it is, the longer it's going to take to process. But I have the hotspot until the 10th. I think it's the 10th or the 20th. I saved the receipt. I think they send you an email reminder too, which is nice. It's not per se that we forgot about this appointment because we knew about it yesterday. And Brian goes, okay, good. I finally got the email link. It's just between going to sleep last night and waking up to the rain. Yeah, just I didn't want to wake him up. I wanted him to sleep as long as he wanted to because what's he going to do? It's pouring down the rain. Why would you wake up a person? We have 2 days where we don't have to get up at 6 o'clock or wait till 11 o'clock to go to sleep. So I guess that's worth $50 when we're essentially not paying for it. It's that easy, folks. Right. It's that easy. People could have eaten. Now the camping season's over, but I'm explaining the excuses. People could have, because Cynthia did this, and sometimes we have issues too, where you can go and reserve the thing, and then you just say that we're the campers. I do it all the time because my account is under Lagore, but I'm Mary Buchanan. And I just haven't set up a new Reserve America account. So that's how I know. Anybody could have done it. Anybody could have booked a week, 2 weeks, 3 days, and then just said, hey, we booked this for you. Just show up there with your ID. Like, say that you're a case manager, right? Okay. Why wouldn't you take some of your income and go, I booked you a week? Like, obviously, there's something wrong. Like, even if they said, I don't understand it either, but I think they do because they're part of the community. I don't understand it either, like what this is, but I booked you folks a week. I mean, that's all I can do. That's the best I can do. Da 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 da. Right. That's $124 on a non-electric site per week. So, like I said, I feel as if Royal Caribbean is going, okay, how much would you people pay for this cruise? First of all over Twitter, talking about cruises for what, a year now? Year and a half? And on when I'm able to do videos and stuff. Well, we saw what happened with Harmony of the Seas. Clearly, people bought it, the price went up. Okay. Just like anybody else that's promoting cruises. So now it seems like they've got to do a transatlantic because people were talking about how they like these cruises because there's no families on them. They don't want to be on cruises with children. So they do a transatlantic because it's during the school year. So now they're going to sell these people a transatlantic in the summertime. And it's outrageous. Like, you could probably take a Viking cruise. Right, just, I don't know what Viking charges. I think it's about that. I'm assuming Oceania is way, because they won't even tell you the price of their cruises. When their brochure has no prices, yeah, just know that, just know. The thing about the people that are trying to, it depends. I mean, I would have to know something about the people that are selling the thing, the residence cruises. I'd have to know something about those people. Okay. So if they had a thought idea where they were going to do something, but they need for you to invest because they don't have the money to have a ship built, it's not any different than timeshare condos. Okay. The business about not getting your money back, that would be a concern, unless they made the mistake of investing it in the stock market and lost the money. It should just be in a bank account. Okay. You would just put it in a bank account, it bears some bit of interest, and then maybe have a time limit. And if enough people don't buy into it, then all of those people get a full refund. And then you could even keep the interest from the account. If they're telling people they can't get a refund, that's concerning to me. Unless they already paid the shipbuilder or they're already in a negotiation to buy a ship. Are they not being forthcoming about what they're doing? Because it's a simple explanation about what you're doing. Did you purchase an old ship? Are you trying to fix it yourself? What's going on? This is another thing too that I don't know if people know about this, where an investor will give you money, but you've got to prove that you have people first that are already paying you. Like, I wouldn't just assume something's a scam because the boat isn't built yet or they haven't acquired the boat yet, because that is a thing. We went to a thing at the shelter and some guy that knows about investing in loans and things explained it to us. Right, like in order to get more money from like a bank or even donated, like they sometimes they just give business people money, but you have to show that other people are in for it. Like other people said we're going to do it, if that makes sense. So yeah, you would have to sign a contract, pay a deposit at least, and then they can show that to the people that give out the money. They don't want to just give you money for a product that nobody's even going to do. Sometimes people just don't understand economics and business and stuff, so not everything is a sham. No, not everything is a sham. I would say if you're going to do something like that, you've got to have a timetable where the people get a refund. Unless you're going to say it's a take chance thing and either their deposit is not refundable or they only get some of it back because it's a take chance. And then you could explain how you've got to yourself invest some of that money for something, and then yeah, if something doesn't happen. That might be what it is, and that's why the people are worried they're not going to get their money back, because that may have been what it was. They may have told them up front it's a take chance investment. But if this works, then you're getting the cheapest ones because you're initial investors into it. So sometimes when people get upset about something, you get like a half story, so we don't know. I think even the people reporting it may not know if they don't have the contracts in front of them. And I think they said the company wasn't talking to them about what's going on. It's sort of like playing the lottery. It's a take chance investment. You're investing $2 for the chance that you might win $100,000. And then, like, say that you're the take chance investors, you're paying what, $10,000, $20,000, and then if this actually happens and they get the money donated to get the thing, when people buy into it now, they're going to be paid more than that, if they need to be, for the running costs. Because how are you going to live on a ship like that? Are you in the kitchen cooking? Like, what was actually the agreement for it? Because that's going to be there's got to be some sort of annual dues or something, because how are you going to keep doing that? You have to pay people. If you're expected to be catered to like you're on one of those cruises, right, like you may have bought a room, but then I would think you're paying monthly something. You're paying these employees salary. Are you all going to take turns working the kitchen? That's possible, and cleaning the rooms. Completely against the thing where you remove the gratuities. Completely against it. Absolutely, completely against it. I'm sure they have all sorts of incentives for the employees to sign a 6-month contract with the cruise line. Okay. And sometimes people will say something because they want you to slip them $20. So it sounds like that's turned into a little nightmare, just like Disney. If you don't want to work, don't work. You knew what the agreement was when you signed a 6-month contract and what the pay was, and you knew all about how the tips were handled. Okay, so now you're in the process of destroying cruising for people like you did with Magic Kingdom. Because clearly that's the buzz now, where everyone's going to have the gratuities removed. And as you know, that's part of revenue. So that's a problem. I think they should go back to, well, it might not be 7.55 anymore, but what's minimum wage in Florida now? It must be nice to an extent, right, to be able to sleep like that. Ugh. No, if we were at my sister's, man, I would have woke him up at like 9, slightly agitated. That's generally how it goes because I know every night he's able to lay down when he pesters me at 8:30 and 9 o'clock to put the bedding down. Yeah, I'm not doing that here because we're only here until tomorrow. What happened is they have sprinklers that run. Okay, and then the second feature is that where we slept when it rained, the awning seal broke and all the water came down. But we did not wait till 11 o'clock to go to bed. No, that's because they're running sprinklers over there in the morning. I think it's like 4 a.m. they come on. So we would probably go to sleep about 9 or 10, depending on the night. And then either squirrels or the maintenance workers would talk loud and wake us up about what, 6, 5:30 or 6. Yeah, so that was a little bit easier because that's it. I don't know if it's just the number of hours or being made to stay up till 11. I mean, we just went from 6 weeks of camping where we went to sleep at nightfall for the most part. We went to sleep about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So being made to stay up till 11 obviously is not good for my medical condition. Explained it numerous times. And it might seem weird if you're like, yeah, but you're up early. Right, because typically I would be up early. I would be standing and typing on my computer, not sitting. Nope, not sitting. I'd be standing, have my coffee, have my soda, do my business, talk till about noon, and then take a 2-hour walk, and then I would lay down. I'd lay down about 2 or 3 in the afternoon for some hours and hours of laying down because of my medical condition. I have hypertension and I have huge kidneys and a huge liver. Okay, it's quite massive. I can feel it in my belly, and I'm actually an extremely thin person. None of that is fat. It's all organs. So, and then I'd have another meal and then go to bed. That's a lot of time laying down because it keeps my blood pressure down. And then my bodily functions can function because it's not all pressed up. Sitting in a chair is not good either. I'd almost probably be better off standing, I'm not sure. But it's way too much time not being laying down. It's literally as if you forced a pregnant woman with toxemia to be sitting up and stuff like that, and standing and sitting all that time and laying on the fucking ground with your kidneys right on the ground, and then holding your urine for all that time, and then searching for a place to urinate and defecate when you can, because it blocks up your intestines. And then your leader shouldn't go on a TV and explain to you that you're being obliviated for this shit. Is that a madman? Or you're mad? You've gone fucking mad. And like, how many times would a person have to explain it to you over the course of 15 years? I don't care about what you think is a fucking procedure. I don't care. The court just went through this for 2 years. We covered all your made up fucking procedures. Every single one of them. I even went and had fucking blood work done and got examined when I typically don't do that. So we covered all of your fucking made up procedures. There's not a medication to take. It's called the fucking diet and exercise and rest program that you won't allow me to do. So case manage that. Please do. Take your $100,000 a year and go, we did everything we could do. Yeah, we asked her for documents and she didn't give them to us. Really? What the fuck am I looking at on Champ? There's about 10 copies of this shit. She didn't give it to you? She didn't walk in there and hand it to you right in the fucking office at least twice? And in one of the times it was a fucking downpouring rain. She didn't do that? Fucking break. I am sure it's like those videos where they catch the criminal. It's the same fucking thing. And when you listen to shit like that, then you get an idea of what we're dealing with every day of our lives for 15 years. Oh, yeah, that's how they talk. Like that woman caught with the cruise with the stolen credit cards, all of those ones. And the cops are just talking to them like, what the fuck? I don't know if a piriformis stretch is going to work. I think it's my sciatica. It's always the right side, too. And I noticed that my right knee is bothering me, too. After carrying that backpack here. Oh, shit. Here comes the rain. Oh, what's this? Some kind of YouTube video. Something about dams. Well, yesterday when we walked to Shaw's was kind of brutal. Both of our backsides were wicked hurting. But then we sat down on that bench. We just resigned ourselves that we weren't going to be able to cook. That was part of the reason I was so upset. because I wanted to be able to cook last night. I knew it was going to rain today. Now, in retrospect, I probably could have cooked tonight, but it is what it is. I'm not walking back to that store today. It takes about 3.5 hours total, and that doesn't include that does include the time in the store. We left here before 2:30. We didn't get back here till like 6. And it was a wonderment it wasn't total darkness till right when we got back here, which was kind of cool. But yeah, it takes a while to walk to the store and back. So I was like, I guess we're not going to cook. I was kind of upset about that too. I'm basically eating junk for the time we're here. But I got to see the foliage and stuff, and sleep in this morning a little bit. Hopefully this is the last band of rain, since it's supposed to stop completely at 1 or 1:30. I guess I'll shut this down because it's an hour and a half. It's going to take forever to process. And then I can check the radar again.